You just had the weirdest conflict ever. Your mom accused you of stealing her money.
You took my money!
$100 note was gone from her wallet, and the only explanation in her mind was that you stole it. At first you thought she was joking, but very soon it turned out she was dead serious. You took my money. It was here in my purse. Madness. You visited her because you wanted to make sure she was okay. You helped her take her pills, made sure she had her breakfast. And now you're sitting in the car outside, engine off, and you can't drive yet because you're angry and hurt at the same time. And this is just one element in a series of weird things happening. Last week, Mom left the gas on. She keeps calling you on the phone 10 times a day to say the exact same thing.
When are you coming over? I haven't seen you in weeks.
And today, the accusation. If you're new here, my name is Zita. I'm a dementia educator, author, and I've spent 13 years in the trenches. I've sat with families in exactly this moment, and I'm here to help. You are not the first person to sit in that car shaking. Millions of families go through this because, yes, this may well be a sneaky symptom of dementia. It can appear when family doesn't even know it's dementia yet. They just suspect something is off. Mom keeps insisting on things that are so obviously not true. Sitting in that car, you're hoping your mom will call and say,
Sorry, sweetheart.
I made a mistake. I know you would never steal from me. Sorry. You would forgive her immediately. But that call doesn't come. The truth is she can't apologize because she has forgotten or she has no insight, and in her word, everyone else is at fault. Never her. I call this phenomenon lack of insight, and it's one of the sneakiest, most devastating dementia symptoms. So let's talk about it. What exactly is insight? Insight is the ability to see yourself from the outside, to see things in retrospect, and to understand that what you say or do has an impact on people. That is insight, and it's more fragile than we think. Insight is a long process to learn. Children don't have it yet. They just say and do things on impulse.
Why is that lady so fat?
Shh. Shh. Honey, that is not nice to say.
But an adult with good insight, meaning a working frontal lobe, can pause, reflect, and adjust. Now, talking about frontal lobe, put your palm on your forehead. You have just located the frontal lobe, which is the smart part of the brain. That's the part that plans, thinks, and judges. And that's the part where insight lives. Now, the frontal lobe has another important job to do, to put things in context. You can see things in sequence. You can trace back. Okay, now the money is missing. Let's see what happened. I was at the store, I paid with the note, I got the change back, then I dropped the change in the car. So the change is in the car. That's the frontal lobe working. So now you are starting to understand why your mom behaved the way she did.
You took my money!
Because her declining frontal lobe struggled to trace things back. She only saw that the money wasn't there, and in her mind, it was supposed to be. And if it's not there, it was you. End of story. Dementia attacks the frontal lobe relentlessly. And when it does, the ability to trace back events disappears. The insight disappears. The mental break that says, stop, you might be wrong, that is gone. The impulses remain, but the control mechanism has gone with the wind. There is one more piece to this before we get to what you can actually do about it, and that's memory loss. You have noticed by now that your mom is really forgetful. So, When the note goes missing, she genuinely doesn't remember where she put it. The information simply isn't there. What fills the gap is emotion and certainty. It was there, now it's gone, you were here, therefore you took it. That's her logic. Because the frontal lobe now can't trace it back, and the memory can't hold the information. So here is what that actually produces. Once you see this equation, you can't unsee it. So here is the equation. Lost memory plus lost insight plus intact emotion. It's a false accusation delivered with total conviction. That's not your mother talking. That's the monster called dementia, her declining brain. And because the dementia attacks the frontal lobe so severely, it leaves you, the caregiver or family member, in a position where logic simply doesn't work. Since your mom cannot access the smart part of her brain or it's damaged, so you trying to argue, prove your innocence, or show her the empty wallet will only escalate her distress. Okay, Zita, I hear you, you might be thinking. I know the reasons now, but what do I actually do? Well, that's the most important question, and this is where it gets practical. First, the timing matters. If you don't have a diagnosis yet, and weird behaviors like this are creeping in, this is the moment to act. Take your mom to the doctor and push for an assessment. This kind of symptom, false accusations, paranoia, bizarre conflicts, is a serious signal that you might be dealing with early-stage dementia. Now, if your loved one is already in the middle stage, this behavior is a symptom, or it may be further deterioration, the disease progressing. If so, again, speak to her doctor. She might need a change in her medication. Either way, the common denominator of this behavior is this. The accusation is a desperate attempt to make sense of the word that no longer makes sense to your mom. It's a nasty trick of the declining brain saying, money isn't where it should be, so I'm finding the shortcut that still makes sense to me. So the answer to what to do is don't argue. Don't let the situation escalate. Why? Because you can't win. The only result of arguing can be more conflict, more stress, and more sitting in the car, hurt and angry. So just say, all right, Mom, and try to redirect her. That's it. It's hard and it feels wrong, seriously wrong. And in a normal context, it is wrong. But this is the only thing that works with dementia. The real solution isn't the argument. It's reorganizing her environment. From this point on, Mom shouldn't be managing cash alone. Someone else needs to handle her money, the shopping, the bills, all of it. This is a decision that should be made between family members and then quietly implemented. Don't debate it with her, just implement it quietly. Because if things are left as they are, they will escalate. Perhaps she will go to the shop, she will leave without paying. So get ahead of things, reorganize the practical aspects of her life, like finances, and of course, consult a doctor. The only tool here is to understanding this really bizarre disease. The more you know about dementia, the better equipped you are to care for your loved one without destroying yourself in the process. And that is exactly what Dementia Care Survivor Bundle gives you. Everything you need to understand the disease, navigate the symptoms, and care without losing yourself in the process. The link is below. If this video helped you, please subscribe. There's a lot more life-saving information on the way. Bye for now.